All right, so I'm going to be installing this Amazon Basics Smart Switch, which is a three-way switch. This is the switch right here. It's just got a little clicky on it, and it has all the wires coming out. It's got a ground, a neutral, a traveler, a line, and a load, and it just seems like a lot. I have two switches, one right here and one over there. So on this three-way switch, there are three wires connected to it. One of the wires, which is this one on the black screw, is gonna be what's called the line wire, and that's coming directly from the breaker. It actually comes from this little junction right here, but that comes straight from the breaker. The reason I know that is when I turn the power on and I've disconnected this one, it is hot when the power is on, and none of the other wires are hot when the power is on if this one right here is disconnected. The other two wires that are connected here are what are called traveler wires. So there's two on this one, and those two are the same ones you see right here. You got a red and a black. So those two here are also traveler wires. And this black wire that's connected on this one that's also on the black screw, that is called the load wire, and that is actually what is going to the light when the power is switched on. And so how this is working is when that light over there gets power, it's going to send power through one of the traveler wires, and if the switches are in sync, it'll send current all the way through to this load wire to the light. So, and just for a little simpler explanation, this is just what I've said before, but this is a diagram of it. This is what the three-way switches look like right now. You have the line coming into your hot, so that's that one over there. And then you have the two traveler wires, so you have a red and a black. Those are those two, and then the load is it looks the same as that other one, but that one is actually what is leaving that switch and going to the light. And then the light is actually hooked up to neutral, and that's where you see that, which is the white wires that are behind actually both switches. There's a jumble of white wires, and then there's ground. So all I'm going to be doing is taking this wire. I'm going to take this out, basically. Well, I'm not taking it out, but I'm just disconnecting it from this traveler section. I'm going to hook this in to there, right? So it'll look like this. So as you can see, we have the hot going in to that wire. Still have the traveler, the red one, going over. And then now this wire that used to be a traveler is now going in, like I said, the line on the box. Okay, and this is right here is in that switch over there. So I'm going to take that black one off, and I'm going to put it in the splice, which means the power will be going into both this switch and now this switch. And then I'm also hooking the neutral in. And what that's going to do is it's going to have power always going to this switch, and the neutral allows the circuit to complete. So this is basically always on, and this traveler wire is going to indicate whether the circuit has changed based on what this one's doing. And then everything else is the same. This load, which on here is my red wire, again, is going to hook up to the wire coming out of that second switch, which is, mine is actually black. So that's what we're going to be doing. But if you just go to this is on the Amazon website. You just scroll down to the bottom, you'll see this. If you're replacing one traditional three-way switch make sure the smart switch is on the load side. Like I've said, not the line side. It's not the first switch, but the second switch. And you can see the line, which is the hot wire, goes to the first switch. And then that's where we're doing the splice that used to be a traveler wire. So right here, this used to be going to right there, and those would both be two traveler wires, but we're basically making that traveler wire now a line. And so that's what we're doing. And then you have, that's neutral, and then your load is going to the light. And it kind of explains down there how it works and why you need to wire it this way. All right, so the power's on right now. So if I know this is my hot wire. If I go on and touch other stuff, it's hard to get a reading when these are connected. There we go. We get a little something. Okay. So I know the power's on. So I'm gonna turn the power off now. Okay. I know this is off, and when the wires are disconnected, it's a lot easier to tell. But as you can see, when I'm touching the same stuff, nothing is happening on here or on this side. And these are obviously not going to be doing anything. Okay. If you want to like maybe do this, make sure. Okay, so now I know the power's off. What I'm gonna do is over here. This is the second traveler wire I'm gonna take, so I'm just gonna take this off. So I'm gonna unscrew that, and get this out of here. Okay, so now that is all that's gonna look like. Just the two wires, and this one right here, I'm gonna straighten out. I like to try and squeeze it, get it nice and straight. And then I'll probably, this is a mess. I think I'll use this right here. So that's where the hot is coming from. So I just took, that's what was in there before. So I'm just gonna get this wire kind of over there so I can put all three of these like that together. And some people like to twist them and stuff, I've seen, but I just, as long as I get them all facing kind of the same way, and get them, jam them all in there. Make sure they're good and twist. Here, actually stop it. Okay, so actually I realize this orange one is probably too small, so I'm grabbing this red one. It's a little bigger to get these in here. So now should have a little more room. I'm gonna jam all those in there. There we go. Just twist it up real nice and tight. All right, and there we go. So this one is done. We've got over here, this is from the breaker box to hot, and then we have our one traveler. This is a three-way switch, and that is all that will be connected. Okay, all right, stop. All right, so now we're on the second switch. This is where I'm putting in my other one. I've already confirmed that the power's off, but this one's hooked up. So now we're on the second one. So, like I've said earlier, we got the two traveler wires, and then this one over here is the wire going to the light, or lights, okay? So, all we're doing is taking this off, so. All right, so I got the switch off. So here we are. This is how it was connected. This is the load was going to this guy right here. And then these two are the two traveler wires. And you can confirm that these are traveler wires. They're coming from the same place up in there. And then this guy is going to a separate place. Will help you kind of identify. But these are the two that are coming from the switch over there. I also pulled out, this was kind of jammed back there. This is my white wire, it's my neutral, and that's how this is gonna go get power going back to the breaker. So I'm gonna hook all these up. I'm gonna start with the neutral wire. So I'm just gonna take the white one, neutral, and I have the ground taped up for now. I just want to make sure that this is working because I tried this other way earlier and it wasn't working, and now I've figured out the right way, so I'm just gonna make sure it works before I mess with the ground. Okay, so we got the white wire in there, nice and good. We pull on it, make sure it's good. So next we got the brown traveler wire. Okay, so as we said before, these are two traveler wires, but we converted the black wire to a line wire because of what we did earlier. So this red wire is actually our single traveler wire. So brown to red in my case. So just put those two together, jam it in there, get it nice and tight. Okay, it's good. Pull on it, it's good. Then we have two more. We got line, and that is this one. That used to be a traveler wire, but I spliced it to make it a line wire on the other switch. So just jam those in there, twist it up real nice. And then the last one's the load wire. The load wire is the wire that is going to your light switch, which is this guy we have identified. Okay, so put those in there, jam it in there. And hopefully this will now work. When I had it hooked up before, I had that old switch hooked up like a regular three-way switch, and it was only working. I actually had this over here, and it was only working when the other one was on. So now I figured out that we only need one traveler wire, and your other traveler wire you need to convert to hot, okay? So this is my second time trying this, so I hope we'll switch this on, and this should turn on. Yay! All right. So we know it's on here, and I should be able to come over here. And if we look at it, I don't know if you can see it with a light on, but there is a little indicator light. But when I press it, all right, cool. So it switches on and off over here. And we need to check one more thing. We need to make sure that now when I switch this to the other position, it should go on, good. But this needs to make sure that this still works. Cool. All right, so we're all working. All right, and this is what it looks like when it's done. This is the smart switch. I left the other one like that because that's for outside. And then I made that one a different kind of switch. This will also work. So that's it. And I just want to reiterate that this is only for the smart switch three-way Amazon Basics light switch. It only works with this one, this step through that I went through, and it has to be a power going from one switch. Your smart switch has to be the second switch in the circuit, which is the load switch, because that one is then going to the light. It can be wired where it's switch light and then switch. Mine is not wired that way. I don't think that's very common, but it can be wired that way. So this will only work in this scenario. But anyway, thanks for watching my video on how to do this. I couldn't find a video that helped me install this in a way that worked. So I actually just made this video because I was annoyed that I couldn't find anything that worked. I am not an electrician. I do not recommend doing it this way in any way. This is just sharing my experience with trying to install this thing. It did work for me, but I, again, am not a professional, as you can probably guesstimate from the way I did this. So put your comments in the comment section below, like the video, and follow my channel for more awesome content like this. Bye!